Moira's change is, something. She has lost the option to throw a damage orb, but in return received a new ability, the Necrotic Orb, that weakens enemies on impact by a pretty significant amount. You can get into the specifics in a moment. If you don't know who I am yet, hey, my name is Paz, and I am a 4439 flex support player currently playing for Penn State Esports, my collegiate team. Judging by the guides I've made in the past, I am pretty confident with the role of support in question, but that's enough introduction. Let's crunch the numbers in question here. The all-new straight-moving projectile is on a 16-second cooldown that explodes within a 3-meter radius on impact, be it enemy or the environment. It does 40 damage on impact and 10 on a splash, but more importantly deals the weakened effect to those hit, reducing damage dealt by 75% for 4 seconds. Yeah, 75%. Keep that number in mind, it's pretty important. Before we dissect why it's important though, we must look at other parts of the kit. Her self-healing from attacking went down from 24 to 20 per second. Her fade is now every 7 seconds instead of 6, and her healing orb heals for a max of 250 HP on a 10-second cooldown. If we accumulate the percentage lost by her kit in all of these aspects, she essentially lost about 75% of her survivability in theory. I mean, the math is the math, right? On paper, it seems like a warranted change, and from a development perspective, it all checks out. The 75% damage reduction buff is counteracted by her overall nerfs. Wrong. The orb would be okay if the weakened effect was only held true against Moira in the damage she receives, but that is not the case. It's on Moira's entire team. The balanced team slightly nerfed Moira's insane survivability so she could have more utility to keep her team up. Moira still maintains great survivability options, but now has the opportunity to effectively heal for 75% more for 4 seconds every 16. That's almost 2 times each team fight. In short, they took away Moira's self-sustaining potential, but didn't just give back that. Instead, they gave it back to her entire team, which obviously creates some issues. So, how do you fix this? Is the weakened effect not plausible in a game like Overwatch? Honestly, no. I think this is an idea that could definitely work, but you have to think outside of the box as well as just the basic numbers. You have to think about breakpoints and which ones you want the orb to truly counter. For example, should the Necrotic Orb really be able to completely counter ultimates like Nanoblade, Death Blossom, Grav Dragon combos, or even Diva Bomb? Should it instead counter things like one-shot abilities mid-fight and aggressive flankers? Hopefully this discussion reveals the core design flaws this ability has. In my opinion, an ability that is used consistently in the neutral fight should be used to influence breakpoints strictly within the neutral fight. Currently, Genji's common Nanoblade Slash and Dash combo deals 240 damage. The current 75% damage reduction makes this useless, equating to 41 damage to Slash and 60 for the whole combo. That is just not okay. What I suggest is changing the ability so that it is less potent but more frequent. Say, on a 10-second cooldown with a 25% damage reduction effect. A 25% damage reduction would leave the combo doing 124 a slice and 56 a dash, yielding to 180 damage. Looking at Sojourn's Railgun, it does 260 damage normally to the head if it's fully charged, and just look at these numbers. Look at the difference here. One number stops the game for a player entirely, while the other creates opportunities for both sides. Which one sounds more fun to you? You tell me. The direction that needs to be taken here is less potent but more frequent abilities specifically for support. One and done abilities like Immortality Field are boring. We understand that. A damage reduction field on a much lower cooldown is infinitely more attractive, and it baffles me that they haven't even thought of that yet. Abilities like this also require the player to be more precise, as they will be challenged to use it more frequently. After all, the more shots you are forced to take, the more likely you are to miss. Combine all of these variables together, and what do you get? For one, you get more dynamic characters, which is exactly what you want from a development perspective. 2, you have a much more intense playing experience on both sides, where breakpoints are complicated and can be influenced both ways by skill and teamwork. Lastly, we fixed the support skill problem that so many high-ranked players are complaining about, since more will be demanded out of this role. I think it's a win-win for everybody. So, what now? What can we do? Are we doomed to another possibly game-breaking change? No, absolutely not. It's a beta at the end of the day. What is important is that we get Blizzard to hear our concerns, but also provide our ideas for how to address them. If you couldn't already tell, my channel is relatively small compared to other members within the community, so if you like the ideas I have presented today, the best thing to do is simply leave a like and share this as much as possible to get people's thoughts on what they think is best. So get out there, discuss your ideas. I hope you all enjoyed the video, but until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.